Watercolor brush drills is the topic I am asked to create content on the most, by far. When it comes to mastering watercolor, and I use air quotes because what is really mastering? I think we worry about that word too much, but that's a topic for another day. But when it comes to feeling comfortable with watercolor and all the magic that it does, understanding the marks that your brush can make is so incredibly valuable. Friends, my name is Christy Rice. I am obsessed with watercolor, and I'm even more obsessed with ensuring that you can consistently seek out and tap into deep joy through your watercolor practice. And I am here today to show you some of my favorite brush drills, some new brush drills that I've borrowed from a dear friend, and we are going to work through this together. Let's get into it. All right, friends, today I am going to use this Peonia set. I am a bird member over at Izzy Watercolors, and this just came in recently. So we're going to use this. Now I'm going to get this activated with a little bit of water. Izzy Watercolors is known for her granulating formulations, often using vintage pigments that she sources all over the world. I also may use this Da Vinci Joyce's Mother Violet. It is one of my current favorites, which is shocking to me because I do not like purple. And then I do have my Art for Joy's Sake palette, which is linked here. If you're interested and don't have one in your possession yet, I would say you might want to get one. All right. Now we're going to do brush drills with a bunch of brushes. In fact, we're going to do them with all of my brushes, but let me make sure that I actually have all of my brushes here. So let's get them going. Now, when I'm talking about my brushes, if you're new here, my name is Christy Rice, and I'm also an art supply designer. And so I have two brush sets. Actually, I have three. Two studio brush sets, one travel brush set, and then I also have a single brush for travel. So let's get these laid out. I am currently laying out what is included in the Free from Fear brush set. I think I might be missing one brush, but I will go and grab it. So we have and y'all, my brushes, this is normal for brushes to do this when they're dry. Notice when you re-wet a brush, it goes back into shape, right? There. All right. My brushes are heavily used, well loved. This is the Forget Rules, Forget Right, Remember Joy brush set. I often call it the Art for Joy's Sake brush set as a nickname. And these are the brushes included in it. And I'm going to be doing drills with all of these brushes today. All right. So that's what that one looks like. We also have the Free from Fear brush set. It looks like this. And again, all of the links are in the description below. And this is what this set looks like. And I have to steal this one because I do not have one of these in my paint cup. So we're going to do all these. So these are the brushes we're going to drill with today. Yes, this is normal. Y'all, these brushes are heavily used, heavily loved. All of the weirdness that you are seeing is normal. And it goes back into shape when you wet the brush. All right? All right. Wonderful. All right, let's get into this. And the beautiful thing about these brush drills, oh, I just tipped this over, is that if done this way, they turn into potentially something that you could use down the road. You could slice it up for bookmarks, da 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 da. All right, so we're gonna make a page full of fun. All right, starting with the Unshakable Joy brush, the 3/4 inch flat wash brush. All right. I want you to hold the brush like this. You're going to do a downstroke, down, down, down. And I want you to leave an 1/8 inch. I want you to try to leave a even 1/8 inch. Okay, here's an example of an uneven 1/8 inch. Here's an example of an even 1/8 inch. So that's your goal. And I want you to do it as quickly as you can. So the idea here is that we're building muscle memory. It's like the brain hand collaboration, and we are training our brain and our hand to get along with one another. All right. All right. Now, when you go to do the second row, same thing. Try to leave an 1/8 inch, which leads me to realize I need to keep the bottom of that square flat. But again, I want you to go as quickly as your brain will allow, and try to do it in one stroke. Don't do what I'm doing here. Try to do it in one stroke. Be mindful of not gripping your brush too tightly. You're going to fatigue your hand that way, and there's no need for it. You're going to fatigue that hand, okay? These are not going to be perfect, friends. You're not going to get it, quote, right every time. But the reality is the actual act of just trying to get those 1/8 inch separations is building your muscle memory. See how imperfect this is? It's not supposed to be perfect, okay? We're going to switch brushes. The goal is to exercise your hand. Let's go to the Happy Painting brush. This is a number 2 round, all right? And I'm going to go to the pink color here. Load up with whatever color you're using, all right? And what we're going to do now is stay in line, and we're going to do some diagonals. And we're going to try to make sure those diagonal strokes produce the same thickness of line, okay? And we're going to do groups of 5. And every group of 5, I want you to change the look of it. Press lighter, press harder. This was kind of a medium pressure, but consistent. I'm going to press harder this time and try to get that same line 5 times. 5 times. Ooh, that's tough. Just a friendly reminder, friends, you are not trying to make it look perfect. You are not trying to make it look perfect. You are trying to get it as close as you can. And the process of creating the imperfect lines within a particular structure is building muscle memory. All right, here we go. I'm going to jazz it up. Ooh. Ooh. That is fun. Little serpentine action. Try to make them all the same. 5. We're doing little series of 5. All right. I'm going to go back to a diagonal, but I'm going to go as light as I can. That's hard. Maybe if I try this. No, I like this feel. Be aware of how your hand feels. Are you uncomfortable? Are you comfortable? Maybe you need to switch your hold. Okay. I'm going to do a little scrubbing action. 5 of those. And try to keep them very similar in their look. Now, brush drills absolutely build muscle memory. Let me put muscle memory and what that means into something real that you can understand. When you go sit down to paint, if you've been doing brush drills consistently, maybe twice a week, even once a week, right? Even once every 2 weeks, you will begin to notice your hand will be less shaky every time you sit down to paint. It'll feel warmed up quicker. All right. I'm going to do, I love that. Ooh, that was an easier one, and I didn't think it was going to be. Let's do horizontal. Who's painting along with me? Go ahead and say me. Who's painting along with me? All right. So muscle memory, building up that muscle memory, having good muscle memory from practicing drills with your brush is going to make that hand feel stronger. There's going to be less shake for most folks. Now, obviously, if you have some type of mobility issue or some type of like connective tissue disorder or anything that limits your mobility, your threshold may be lower. You know what I'm saying. And notice, for those watching on replay, notice my brush hold. You can try to copy my brush hold, but if my brush hold feels uncomfortable, try something else. Don't ever, that was hard. Don't ever feel like you have to copy my brush hold. If it's making you uncomfortable, stop. Okay? Okay. All right. So we've got this one done. this one done. We're going to keep going down the line. I'm just grabbing them in order that they're staring at me here. All right. And I'm going to alternate these colors, or maybe I'm going to bring in this purple. Let me get a little bit of this purple on a little dish. What do I got? What do I got? No. Here. Let me get a little bit of it in here. A little bit of water. A little bit of water. And we're just going to zhuzh it up. There's other colors in here, but it's okay. I'm in love with this color. As a matter of fact, I'm going to use this brush. I'm going to change course a little bit because I want you to see just the utter loveliness of this color. And I need a larger stroke to do that. Okay. This, my friends, is the It's Just Paper Brush 3/4 inch dagger. Okay. If you don't have my brushes, I still want you to do this. This is still, oh, that was a clump of paint. This is still incredibly, incredibly valuable. Determine the brushes that you use most often, grab them and use those for your drills. Okay. All right. We're going to go curved edge down, hand hold halfway up the brush, and we're going to do one long stroke to start. Notice your pressure, and we're going to repeat it 5 times. Now you're not going to see the granulation, and look at the separation. That's the separation. That's the margin we're going for. You're building your memory. You're building that muscle memory right now, y'all. Right now. You're building it. All right. Okay. Now, friends, I do have a little interlude in the spirit of I'm a business owner. I got bills to pay. So this video is sponsored by Momental Designs. Y'all, I've been seeing so many YouTubers do this where they have their own, like, this video is sponsored by me. And here's what I have to show you. But truly, this video is sponsored by Momental Designs. Momental Designs is my sister brand, and it is what started my entrepreneurial journey, right? Curved edge down, similar hold. We're going to make a broad stroke. Broad. Paint's going to run out, but that is the point. And I want you to drag it a second time. Try not to touch the line above. It's hard. And I want you to drag it a third time, but load up some water. Okay? All right. So I just want you all to know that my brand Momental Designs offers custom holiday card design. But truly, we do, we do, we do. And literally, we can draw your pets, we can draw your family portraits, we can draw anything, and we can pop it onto a holiday card. We have 2 different tiers, one that requires a more affordable design fee and one that requires a larger design fee, but depending on the intensity and the time it will take to create your custom artwork. We also are going to have a special option just for the community here where you can pull from existing artwork and there will be no design fee. All right. So if you're interested, here's what you need to do. Even if you just want to get pricing, get an estimate from my lovely communications manager over at Momental Designs, you just send an email to thegirls@momentaldesigns.com. I'm going to write that out for you. This is funny, isn't it? This is funny. But y'all, this was one of the ideas I had today when my brain was on fire about, you know, entrepreneurial whatnot. Okay. That is the email address you want to send. Okay. thegirls@Momental Designs. You're going to say, attention, Kelly. And sending this email in no way commits you. It is an information gathering situation. Okay. All right. So, attention, Kelly. Subject: Watercolor Land holiday cards. And that way, Kelly will know about the special offer that y'all have been given by me, direct from me. Okay. enough about that. Okay. All right. We are going to use the liner next. Now, the liner brush drill, I feel, and this is the Remember Joy brush, the liner brush drill, in my humble opinion, is one of the most effective muscle memory builder exercises. So, notice my hand hold. Okay. Okay. So, the thing is, y'all, we are trying to make a serpentine, a shallow serpentine stroke all the way across the page without fully running out of paint. It's going to be a trip. So you want to make, whatever paint you're using, you want to make a little juicy puddle. Let me see if I can get that caught. Do you see? Yeah. See that juicy puddle? Try not to drip my juicy puddle. And you want to load that whole thing. All right. All right. And we're going to go. Notice my hand holds. We're going to go serpentine. Light pressure, y'all, or you're going to run out of that paint. Light pressure, or you're going to run out of that paint. Beautiful. All right, we're going to do it again. Stay a 1/4 inch away. I know, I love this green. And I have to play with this green so that we can see more of the granulation. These strokes aren't the best for showing off the granulation. Maybe, Jennifer, do you know if this green is actually a granulator? I don't believe Izzy always does granulation. I don't believe. Let me show you something though, just a little interlude here. I'm assuming you're talking about the purple and the granulating. Just hold on to your shorts. I let it dry, so I don't know if it'll reveal what I know it can reveal. Yeah, it happens more when it's wet, but you can see the blue that comes to light when you lift. It happens more when it's wet. I'll show you on a side piece. Okay. First of all, let's look at it in the container. Look at that. Do you see the granulating happening right in the container? Y'all, DaVinci needs to give me discount codes for y'all. I'm going to go talk to them about that, okay? Okay. All right, let me see if I can get the real granulating craziness of this to show up. Because, of course, now that I'm waxing poetic about it, it won't. All right. I can literally see it in the dish. It's hysterical. So good. We started painting this Cosmo yesterday during our one-on-one session. I'm going to move this so we don't have ourselves an accident. I don't think it's not. Okay, it's not granulating. I was like, wait, what is she talking about? And then I remembered the question I asked you. It did it so beautifully for me. There it goes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. So good. Ah! This color is insane. Does it bother anybody when I use those types of like adjective? I guess I'm using it as an adjective, an insane color. Is that offensive? If it is, I will try to work on that. I was thinking about that the other evening and I was like, I don't know if that might be bothersome to anybody, so I'm going to ask about it. Look at that. This is another, speaking of muscle memory, this is another very non-traditional way to build excellent muscle memory. No? Okay, thank you. Is to paint something, flower, a bug, some type of silhouette. I don't care what, a circle, right? And then let it dry and then paint in a background around it. Now, it'll be more effective if you have some things, like if there were a leaf here that were going all the way to the edge, it would have been more difficult for me to paint in this background. But yeah, that is another amazing muscle memory builder. And the key is to leave a white margin and to try to make it as even as possible. Okay. So give this one a try. I would definitely call this a brush drill because it is. Okay. Glad we had the stock. All right. Watch. You see the blue appearing? There it is. Look at that. It's just wild. You see that? Look at that. What? 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 And I can show you, I'm going to bring back this painting that I had earlier. I used this and it really showed up. So this is Blue Pine Arts, one of the international makers that we are going to be facilitating for. We're bringing in her blocks, and we're also bringing in a curated palette. So, all right. Look at it. Really, this is 100% cotton rag, and it really came out on this. Look at that. All right. All right. Cool. I know it's blurple. We can all get down with a good blurple. And for those who may not be hearing it, it's BLURPLE, blurple. And we just need to color that in because of course we do. Can you just look at this? All right. Look at the mixing dish. I have never, this is similar to, and I need to look at the light fastness. Let me see if it's on there, if there's a light fastness rating. This is very similar to the kind of granulating shananes that you get with Kuretake. Really similar. So if it has really good, now this is just Strathmore yellow, the yellow block of Strathmore. So I don't know how much we're going to get going on that. But if this has a better light fast, look at light fastness 2, very good. This, all right, let's look. PB33 manganese for our manganese blue. This is for our color nerds, okay? PB15 phthalo blue, PV19 quinacridone violet. Oh my gosh. So good. Anyway, maybe blurple is going to be my signature color. The We've renamed it. It's Da Vinci. It's Da Vinci. And it is called Joyce's Mother Violet, which I love the energy that that name gives. Nope, it's not the color purple. Let's take a tour. It is doing its thing, even on 5S. The blurple Dahlia. Look at that. Crazy. Okay. So we've got our classic drills. All right. So traditional brush drills. We're going to keep going on these. Don't forget the negative space brush drill. It is so valuable. And you can do them on an even, if you want to really pump up, the challenge, do it smaller. Let's just say a quarter of this page, but still use your big brush. Woo! You're going to step it up a notch. All right. All right. Here we go. All right. Let's get back to that liner brush. Now that I got smudgies everywhere, remember we got to do a nice juicy load on that brush so we can get it all the way across. We're going to go with a 1/4 inch separation. By all means, if you feel like you need to slow down to make that happen, which I certainly do, I'm running out of paint. Oh my gosh. I'm running out of paint. Don't panic. As long as it doesn't completely go to nothing, we have succeeded. All right, beautiful. We're going to do 5 of these. I find 5 to be a good number. It's like you're working your hand and your brain enough, and your eyes. It's really like hand, eye, brain coordination, but you're not overdoing it to the point of being overly fatigued, right? Right. Have you ever thought about doing lives on Twitch? It just popped in my head. I haven't, Angie. Are there artists doing lives on Twitch? And like, how does that work? I know nothing about Twitch, but I'm always open to new platforms, clearly. And can you sell on Twitch like product, or is it just like people sponsor your painting sessions? And can international folks watch, join, and purchase on Twitch would be a question I have. All right, beautiful. Okay, now we are done with the liner brush. We are going to go in now with the Forget Rules brush, and we're going to go back to our pink. And this is just a reminder. We are trying to create a page that is indeed a means to an end beyond just drills. I'm trying to get a piece here that you love, not just a sheet full of random strokes. Okay? We are going to do flat side down because it's not a hold and a position we think of enough with these dagger brushes. Flat side down, load up your color. We're holding it pretty far down, right at the top of the ferrule, and we're bouncing. This is about speed. All right, we're going to bounce, y'all. Bounce, bounce. Right on the left bottom corner of your first strokes. I want you to bounce. I want you to try to make the most similar marks you can. Notice how these were not similar. And what is going to help you make those similar marks while you're moving quick and bouncing across the page and it feels very chaotic? You're going to use similar pressure, getting that touchdown to feel the same kind of pressure. All right, let's do it again on the one underneath. This is good. We're going to bounce, bounce, same pressure, same pressure. Get used to what that feels like. That was heavier. Same pressure, not same pressure. I'm losing it, but that's okay. You keep going. All right, keep going. I'm going to go through the middle here. Middle, left side. Bounce, 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 bounce. Quick though. You want, as I'm saying bounce, that's how quick you want to go. Try to get it in the same spot as your previous square. All right. Let's keep going. We're going to do 5 cycles of these. These are fun. Bounce. Same pressure, same placement, same pressure. If you have to repeat it in your head as you do it, by all means. Whatever you have to tap into, you tap into it. Now, if you're tired at this point, if your hand feels fatigued, stop. Okay? Joyce's Mother Violet. Joyce's Mother Violet is the name of the paint. I'm going to pop it up here so you can see it. And we're going to show a corner that's nice and granulated. All right. All right, we're going to do another one. We're going to go. We're going to go in the middle here. Bounce, bounce, same pressure, same placement, same pressure, same placement, bounce, bounce, bounce. Who's still painting with me? Who's still here? Okay, Angie says there are artists. My friend is a cartoonist graphic designer and does drawing streams on there. I know you can link your website and chat, and people can also subscribe, donate, or tip. Interesting. Kaylin, Carrie, Ricari, let me know how to pronounce that. And Shelly, you're all still painting with me. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. I'm going to do one more bounce, but a little bit of a different placement. And friends, just so you know, I am pausing here, but one of the benefits is to just keep moving and not take a lot of pauses. So we're going to bounce right in the middle. Bounce. This one, try to stay in line with your previous brushes. So imagine brush strokes. Imagine at the end, we could draw a straight line all the way through. All right, those on replay, if you are painting with me and you are finding this useful, would you go ahead and give this video a boop? A boop on this channel, lovingly nicknamed Watercolor Land, is a like. All right, friends, I want to go down here, change out brushes. So if I didn't mention, and I don't think I did, this is the 1/2 inch Forget Rules brush. It's a 1/2 inch Dagger, Forget Rules, Forget Rules. Moving on. This is my travel brush, friend, the Joy Chaser. It is my delightfully designed number 6 round, different from any number 6 round on the market, longer from ferrule top to tip. So it's got length to it, but it's a controlled brush feel on the paper because it's synthetic Taklon bristles, and it tapers. It has this slow, elongated to a very, very fine point taper. All right. And I'm going to show you the magic of what it can do. I'm going to stay with this pink and I'm going to load it up nice and juicy. Oh, Jennifer, that's wonderful. And I'm going to do a horizontal hold. I'm holding out really far. Okay. All right. And we're going to go down through the middle of this. We're going to press and lift, press and lift, press, and we're going to go quick. And we're trying to make the same stroke. And we're not going to make it all the way across. So reload. Okay. Press and lift, press and lift. It's low contrast, which is good for this technique because it makes it harder to see. You have to train your eye to kind of capture a lot of information quickly about the stroke you're making and at the same time be applying similar pressure across the page. Y'all, is this making sense? These are very non-traditional brush drills. I want to make sure it's making sense. If you have questions, whether you're live right now or you're watching this on replay, please let me know. All right. Grabbing the green. We're going to do 5 iterations of this. Now I'm going to go like a brick in between but below. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Load. This one, I also want you to try to keep the same coverage of paint, which is going to require a reload. Your eyes have to work hard to see where that brush stroke should be placed because the previous row of strokes was such low contrast. But that is the point, my friend. Continuing. This is our 3rd row. Remember, I like to work in 5s, so you really get the benefit. Because I feel like if you're not working in 5s, you're not really getting that full benefit of the exercise and how it can build your hand strength and your hand-eye coordination. All right, we need 2 more rows. So we're going to go up here. Bricks again. Bounce. And this time, we're losing the brick action, but that's okay. I want you to make sure you're covering the top and bottom of the purple line with a little bit of green. So your pressure should be adjusted accordingly. All right. See how the top and the bottom of my green strokes are overlaying the purple a little bit. We're going to do that one more time. I like that a lot, but we're going to skip a row, press, make sure you're hitting it. Make sure you're hitting it. If you're not getting a touchdown on the top and the bottom, either you're not aligned where you should be or you're not using enough pressure. Does that make sense? Just type Y if it makes sense. All right. Those were our 5. Love it. All right. I might introduce another color for the sake of this being an interesting color composition. I'm going to bring in blue, but we're done with the Chasing Joy brush, and that's what this one is called. I don't think I mentioned it. Okay. Moving on to my number 6, Cat's Tongue, and it's your Find Your Weird brush. It has this beautiful girthy body, tapers to a very, very fine point, does amazing details. So we're going to do something wild and crazy, y'all. You ready? Wild and crazy. We're alternating. So I want you to cover this brush entirely with paint. All right, entirely. Here we go. All right, you see that? Entirely. All right, entirely. Great. Okay. And we are going to do this. We're going to go press, flat side, turn it to the side, and alternate. Press, alternate, side, press, reload if you have to, but reload quickly. Side, light press, down, side, down, side, down. All right? Let's repeat that. Full coverage. If you feel like using different colors, y'all, don't follow my colors. Hopefully you're not following my colors. All right, we're going to go above in the next wave, side, press. Follow the wave, side, press, side, press. I think I'm pressing too hard on that side stroke. Side, press, side, press, side. Love that. So fun. Reload. Press, side, press. I sound like a Lamaze instructor. Maybe I should coach my son's soccer team today during his drills. I thought I was alternating. I guess it wasn't. But the alternation is not really the important part on this one. The important part on this one is being able to twist your brush in between your thumb, your middle, and your forefinger. That is the action we're looking to build up for. All right, one more, friends, one more. And we've got 6 more brushes to go. All right. Press, side, press, lighter, press. Talk yourself through it. Lighter, Christy, press. Those presses are good. Now we got our mojo. Talk yourself through it. Talk yourself through it. Because while you're building muscle memory, you can also be building that habit of talking kindly to yourself. Huh? Huh? Let that be an aha moment for you today. We're always chasing aha moments, right? Let that be. Building a habit while you're building muscle memory. Building a mental health habit while you're building muscle memory. I'll say it again for those in the back. Talk to yourself kindly while you're doing these brush drills, out loud or otherwise. So we're building a good mental health creative habit while we're building muscle memory. Yes. Okay. Done with that one. Moving on to the queen bee of them all. She's Miss America. What is that song they sing during the pageant? She's our pageant queen. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, my brain is so excited with ideas today. I can't even. Can't even. I think I want to go to blue again. All right, this is our 1/4-inch art for joy's sake. This is our art for joy's sake dagger brush, 1/4-inch dagger brush. Cover her good, and we're going to go back to this vertical hold. This pinky not necessary, but I'm extra. We're going to go up here, curved side down, hover, and press in between those dots. On either side of that middle dot, try to keep your spacing equal. Try to keep your fingers from gripping too tightly or you're going to fatigue. I already feel a little fatigue in my pinky, but like I said, that pinky don't need to be hanging out there like she's a showgirl, but I'm extra. All right. I like speed on this one. Hover, press, hover, press, hover, press. Your focus here is the amount of paint being consistent and your spacing on either side of that dot being consistent. So if you do need to reload, I want you to reload quickly to keep your momentum. All right? That is a good one. This is the kind of stroke that is so overlooked in loose watercolor painting. This kind of stuff. Downstrokes with a vertical hold. So overlooked. We're always doing like this, right? Yeah. Okay. All right, we got 2 rows. We got to get to fiver. Fiver. All right. 5's the lucky number. I want you to go in between here and go as fast as you can and keep things centered. I don't care about the consistency of the paint. What I do care about is keeping that line you make as much in the center of the previous lines that are on the page and the speed. Do it fast. Do it fast. Boom, boom, boom. It's hard, y'all. We're getting increasingly difficult stuff here. It's hard. Fast. All right, we're going to go here and we're going to go boom, boom. Try to keep it evenly spaced. Same hold, y'all. Evenly spaced. Oh, that's hard. That is hard. I'm only going to go halfway across so we can reserve some room. If there are any of these drills that you really love, that really feel like they're working something that needs to be worked for you, I want you to repeat them on a smaller piece of paper and fill that smaller piece of paper with just one of these drills that you're really enjoying. All right, we're going to get to it. I'm just going to fill the rest of the line since I took a little hand break because my hand was actually starting to cramp a bit. But I'm going to do it again now that I've given myself a rest. And y'all, listen, so important. Rest. If your body is telling you to rest from this, you need to listen. I don't want you hurting yourself. Okay. All right, here we go. I think that was 5 actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it wasn't. All right. Press flat side down in between these round brush marks that we made earlier. This is a kind of a cool down. It's a lot easier and done. I'm going to add here and here. All right. Some of the things that I want you to pay attention to moving forward as we wrap up the drills, we've got 5 brushes left. I want you to pay attention to where you might be resting parts of your hand for some stability. And I want you to be very aware of that. I want you to be aware of where you might be placing some fingers, maybe part of your wrist for structure. That is important to know what feels comfortable for you in that area. Because having a place, having a finger, like I often do the pinky lay like that, that's comfortable for me. Some of you might want to do the wrist and then paint more from your knuckles. Okay? You got to find what's comfortable for you. All right, friends, we're moving on to the watercolor curious brush. It is a number 1 cat's tongue with a dimensional point. It doesn't come to that perfect point. It comes to a scruffier point to make really cool texture. All right, we are going to do, I'm going to pink from the Izzy Peonia set. All right, and we're going to do another serpentine. So a perpendicular hold up and down, point facing down, of course. And we're going to try to fill in between this space that is left. Don't lift your brush off the paper. It's a press and lift, but continuous. You're running out of paint. It's fine. Keep it going. All right. We're going to do another one of those in a spot that we can. Lots of water on your brush this time, especially because we're going to go over an already painted area and glaze, but the same idea. Press. Don't worry if those colors are mixing together. Press, lift, fill that space. Where am I at? Got off track. We're going to reload. Don't panic. Press, lift. All right. Ooh, that's beautiful. We're going to do it again. Lots of water because you're glazing. And it's going to blend together because this paint hasn't been curing for very long. Follow that channel that you previously painted 2 times over. You painted it with the thin serpentine line, and then you did the press and lift with the number 6 round. We're going to just keep doing that one. I really enjoy this one. And we're going to just go down here and do something a little like this. Running out of paint is okay. These are synthetic brushes. They do not hold as much water as a natural bristle brush, so that is normal. I'm going to come in from this side. All right, that was fun. All right, here is another drill that I want you to do. What was that? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we got to do one more. Stick into fiber. Reload quick. All right. All right, we're done with that one. We're going to the number 12, Curious Rebel. That could work too, Creative Rebel. This is a number 12 round. It is a gorgeous design. Again, that elongated kind of girth of the brush, right, from here to here is elongated, comes to a super fine point. Reshape that baddie, but it also has a slight bevel from here to the point. It bevels right here, which I love. Okay. All right. Now here, this is fun. All right. We're going to load up. You choose the color. I'm going green. Juicy. Make yourself some room. You ready? I want you to come here, reload, come here. I want you to do that in a couple of places. Stroke from the from the right to the left, quickly reload, right to left. Get more water. Speed is the thing here, and being agile with changing the direction of your stroke. Agile, okay? Agile. All right. This is going to teach you how to not paint like this all the time. This is going to teach you more of this, which we all need in our painting lives. This is a great one to do on a separate piece of paper like this. Here and here and here and here, and keep going. Opposite, left stroke, right stroke, left stroke, right stroke, and always be coming from different areas and just learning what that feels like to hover and create these like smiley lines. Such an important hand skill. I cannot emphasize that enough. So important. Okay. That might just be our favorite one. Who knows? Okay. we have got the you do you, the you do you. All right. Now, for the sake of this being a fun and lovely composition, I'm going to bring out my favorite ink that I've been obsessed with. All right. Because I need a little contrast, and I'm going to go in the middle of each of these. Boom, boom, boom. I want you to make a puddle though. So you need to reload so you have a shallow puddle. So if your puddle is getting not puddly, reload. So the key here is to get that nice and evenly spaced in between those previous strokes, but also to have enough on your brush that you're getting a shallow puddle. Y'all, you could do this with bleed proof white. You could do this with a watered down acrylic, kind of pre-mixed in a little dish for you. You could do this with ink, but it needs to be the type of supply that has a little viscosity to it. Like, is that the right word? Like, it's not water. It can't be watery. It's going to be hard to make that puddle. All right. My puddle's a little big, so I know I need to adjust my pressure. This is such a good one. Puddle. We're puddle jumping. Puddle jumping. Puddle jump. That was my first car. I had a Subaru Justy. My dad called it my puddle jumper. Called it my puddle jumper. Yeah. There we go. That is an excellent one. And that again comes in handy, especially if you're trying to paint loose floral centers where you want marks to kind of not all touch each other and have the muscle memory to make that happen. Let me show you, just going back to one that we did earlier with the liner brush to show you some context, okay? These serpentine, these green serpentine lines, here's how they come into play in a real life way, all right? Really fun around the center of a flower, all right? It's different, but it's similar. Really fun as a loosey-goosey sketched outline. Really helpful, all right? So these brush drills are not created in a vacuum. They're just not, all right? They're not. My poor buddy has a cough out there. All right, all right. And they also, of course, all right, let's just hit it. I said I wasn't going to use my tonics, but I kind of want to bring them out right now. Let's show you another real life place where this brush drill is going to really help you. Okay. Now I am painting in a very strange way by holding this up in the air, but that is a great brush drill too. It's going to give you a steadiness of hand to paint something where you're holding the paper instead of having it flat. So those serpentine lines can come in real handy doing linear details. Those serpentine lines, boom, shakalaka, okay? All right, real life context here, y'all, real life context. All right, y'all, we have 2 brushes left. We have 2 brushes left. All right, we have got our filbert, the dive right in, number 6 filbert. We're gonna hold it, horizontal hold. We're gonna press and lift, juicy press, juicy press, juicy press. When it stops getting juicy, reload. Juicy, 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 juicy. All right. All right, all right. We're gonna go up here and do it juicy, juicy, right in the middle of those blue marks. Right in the middle of those blue marks, friends. Right in the middle, right in the middle, right in the middle. Okay. And I don't think I need more water, so I'm going to just do this. Oh, I love this one. This is great for petals, cute little flowers, cute like little button flowers, with like 5 petals. And this is definitely a cool down for your hand for sure. Let's do another one here. Press, 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 press. How many we do? This is our 4th. This is a great cool down. I do think it's important. It may seem silly, but I do think it's important to start slow with your drills, especially if you're going to be doing for an extended period of time, and so a warm up essentially and a cool down. And we are in our cool down. Okay. Now let's go right in the middle for composition's sake. And let's go over that blue mark. It's probably going to blend because they're not dry yet, but I love that so much. Press, juicy press, juicy press, juicy press, juicy press. I love the color mixing is happening. I have enough water on my brush to finish this out. All right. And friends, certainly not least, but indeed last, making magic 000. What do I want to do here? I think I want to, we're going to go up here and we're going to go boom, 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 reload. This is a horizontal hold, meaning the brush is being painted this way, not this way. And we're pressing and lifting. And we're reloading to keep those strokes of a similar coverage and pressure to keep them of a similar thickness. It is difficult. Look how I went out of whack there. All right. And I'm trying not to necessarily perfectly touch the other blue strokes. Okay. That's row 2. Let's go here. Adam, I'll be ready in 2 minutes. I'll be ready in 2 minutes. You got it. Real life. Is this the real? Oh, I missed one. Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. I'm just a mom with ADHD. The thought is easy come, easy go. Will I remember? Probably no. Depending on what effect you want, crucial thing is to either let your layer dry or put another layer on before it does to create a blended look. Yes. So we did this one, this one, this one. So we need one more and we are wrapping it up. Let's do a vertical hold on this one. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Reload. It's okay. This is your warm down. Be goosey, loosey, juicy, slow. And more slow isn't as important as just palm strokes to warm yourself or cool yourself down. All right. Friends, I hope you've enjoyed this. I want to hear all about your brush drills. And I also want to hear about what you do with this page, how you turn it into something fabulous, because let's face it, this is a pretty cool patterned page that we could turn into flat notes, bookmarks, whatnot. Friends, I can't thank you enough. I love hanging out with you. It is the highlight of my week. Okay? Okay. And don't forget, holiday card offer from my besties over here in Watercolor Land. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to Instagram me, DMs if you do have questions about this or anything else. It's the best place to get a quick answer from me. I wish you so much happy painting.